What up, everybody? This is your Cosmic Homegirl, and I'm doing a weekly forecast for the week starting June 30th, 2019, and ending with July 7th, 2019. So, happy July! It's the first of the month. It's the new month, and we are into the second half of 2019 already. Dang! So, I do have eclipse readings that are still available for purchase on my website, indigomoon.astrology.com. The link is in the description box. Up until the 15th of July, I'll be offering those readings. You can either get one eclipse reading for $25, or you can have me cover both of them in July for $40. So those are available. And also, this is a general forecast for all signs. It's just what the weather is, the cosmic weather is for this week for everybody as a collective. But if you want to know how everything affects you by your sign, I do have the monthly forecast back. So if you want to see what everything does for you as far as your rising sign, your sun sign, or your moon sign, I do have those available for purchase. They're only $3.33. So they're on my website as well under the Horoscopes tab if you would like a July general forecast for your sign. And I also do have a video up, so I have general forecast for every single sign for the eclipses as well. So make sure you guys go check that out. And also the monthly July video that covers like the whole entire month. But on the weeklies, I go in a little bit more detail week by week. So here we go. What's going on the week that starts June 30th of 2019? What's cracking? What's popping? So we have that square that was going on between Venus and Neptune, and the opposition from Venus to Jupiter. It's fading off. We are in the last days of Venus being in the sign of Gemini. So what does that mean for us? Well, Venus in Gemini is very playful. It's very curious. Venus in Gemini has a player reputation just within itself, just saying, because it's about variety. It gets bored very easily, and Venus can represent love. So maybe some people are kind of bored and just trying new things, new people. You know what I mean? No shame, no judgment here. But yeah, Venus in Gemini is more bouncy and fun and just like all over the place. So we're in the last phase of that right now. Nothing too much on the 30th, but yeah, let's jump to the 1st of the month. Get up, cash your checks and come on. So the 1st of the month, we have, first of all, we have Mars at the very last degree of Cancer. Oh, just let all those tears out, hunty. Mars is in Cancer. The Moon and Venus are in Gemini that day, which gives us maybe some feelings about love, like indecisiveness in love, kind of going back and forth. That's what Gemini energy does, because it has a duality. Look, it's the numeral 2, so it's back and forth. So maybe some of us can be trying to decide between the head and the heart, or physically attracted to somebody versus emotionally, like are we having both fulfilled? Back and forth is what some people could be going through with this. Moon and Venus together does make people have like more cravings too, but yeah, Mars is at the last degree of Cancer. So Mars in Cancer, is pretty crazy. I mean, it is the energy of protection of your family, your loved ones, your shell, your home, your comfort zone, your things, like just anything personal to you. And it's not the most aggressive Mars placement. Mars does better in like Capricorn. It's exalted there, and also does well in fellow fire signs because it rules the sign of Aries. So anything fire, Mars does well in. So Mars moves into the sign of Leo. Okay, so Mars moves into Leo on the 1st, and it comes into a conjunction with Mercury in Leo. So Mercury and Mars together in Leo, this is like, I could see people's egos running so high, like with this energy right here. This Mercury, speech and communication and thought. Mars is aggression. There could be people that are on their high horses about stuff. People could be bragging more about, I do this and this, like I don't know. This is just like an energy that could be a little too overly egotistical or pompous in some sort of ways. But I'll tell you one thing. The energy of Leo it rules romance, and it's a creativity sign as well. And it's childlike, fun and stuff too. So it's not all bad. I mean, Mercury and Mars together could really mean like scrapping, like I dig scrapping, like James Brown. It's like, Mercury is the use of the hands and Mars is anger and aggression. So some people can be very protective over their own precious egos and, not really take jokes very well, like clowning or embarrassment or anything. Leo energy does not like that. It likes to be the king or the queen, like their royal highness, super regal and perfect. And, oh, look at my fabulous hair. And aren't I dressed with such flash and pizzazz? Like, that's Leo energy. And if anybody tries to mess with that, people will be very protective and be like, oh, those are fighting words right there. You're talking about me? Oh, no, I'm not going to let that fly. But yeah, this energy is very romantic though. Very playful, romantic, like creative. So if you are any of those things, this will bring more of that out. Yes, indeed. People can be speaking a lot more of their true feelings with passion because this is fire energy. When these two planets were both in Cancer, yeah, it's emotional and it's about speaking your mind through your emotions too. But Cancer energy could be very passive though as well. It could be very much like hidden, like subliminal and not as direct, So in Leo, fiery Leo is very direct. So people may be more direct about their romantic feelings, about what they want and what they deserve. Oh my gosh, let me tell you guys. I've known a lot of Leos in my life. I have, people close to me that have Leo energy, and they will put their hand on their hip and stomp their high heel and talk about what they deserve. I deserve this. I deserve that. That's like a Leo mantra right there. I know that they say the sign of Leo has a different mantra. I don't remember what it is right now, but to me, it's I deserve. It's kind of, like I said, it could be kind of entitled a lot of times. So people may be speaking in that way, and talking about, I don't deserve to be treated like this. I do deserve this or that because I'm me. And that's all there is to it. I deserve it just because I'm myself. And I'm the greatest. So that's how Leo energy can act with Mars and Mercury here. But yeah, they're going to keep moving closer and closer to each other, throughout the week. So just be aware that a lot of people will just be speaking out and like just wanting to show off a little bit more too, like showing off, bragging, talking about like name dropping and stuff, and talk about what celebrities that they know and have met, and things like that. A lot of people do, because Leo is a sign of celebrity, so a lot of people may be more tuned into that. But yeah, Mars goes into Leo. Mars is going to be in Leo until August 12th. So we get a whole month and a half of Mars in Leo. Playful, fun, competitive energy, romantic, affectionate energy. Oh, yes. All about that. I'm all about it. Okay, so that's on the 1st. And, the moon switches into Cancer on the 1st as well. So we are stepping into the phase of the new moon in Cancer. It's the moon is dark in the sky. You can't see it right now. That's what a new moon is. The sun and moon come together. When they're opposing each other on a full moon, that's like the light of the sun reflecting off the moon. That's why you can see it all huge. But when it's a new moon, they're together, like aligned with one another. So you can't see it. It's dark and it's about kind of going within. And Cancer energy is all about going within as well. I talked about this on my social medias, that I did a tarot spread for myself for the new moon eclipse in Cancer, and all I got were water energy cards. And it did make me cry, of course. I'm double water. My ascendant, my rising is Scorpio. My moon is Pisces, so I'm very water heavy, which means very emotional. I have a lot of Taurus energy, which will hide it, and Scorpio is a water sign, but it's like it'll hide its feelings, as well. It's more secretive about how it feels. But yeah, the feels were definitely real with all the water cards and in this eclipse tarot spread. But I did get the 8 of Cups. And if you know anything about tarot, the 8 of Cups is about like seeking out something else, like abandoning ship sometimes, leaving behind something, and it could be very emotional to do that. But when you do, something brighter and better can await you. And so because Cancer is a water sign, I really do feel like that's not just for me. That's also like collectively, a lot of people may be feeling that. Cancer energy is about who really matters to you the most, because it's a sign of family. Family doesn't always have to mean your blood relatives. Family and who matters to you the most can be anyone even outside of that, but you welcome them into your shell. You welcome them into your inner world, and you trust them, and you want to take care of them, and you trust them to take care of you too. And you trust them to have your back and stand by you if anybody tries to challenge you in some way. And you do the same thing. You know, you protect people like family, even if they're not. And it's who matters. So a lot of people, especially Cancers, with this eclipse, they are, you know, the eclipses are about new beginnings, but yeah, sometimes some things have to be cleared out to welcome in new. So this could be people clearing out emotional connections to people that were like empty or one-sided. You know, there was a lack of reciprocation, or they were unrequited for some reason. It doesn't have to be romantic relationships either. It can be like friendships, like you find yourself always being the initiator and always being the provider in a friendship, and then the other person or people just don't even really reciprocate back. Whenever it's Cancer season, I always see this meme going around, or this like quote going around that says, don't expect people to be as caring as you are, or do things for that you do for them, or something like that. It goes around every Cancer season every year. I'm telling you guys, for real. And that's because the energy of Cancer, people who have this energy within them, that's how they are. Like, what about all the things I do for you? How come you don't do anything for me? I know he used to do nice things for you, but what has he done for you lately? If you're an old school head, you know where that's from. Wink, wink. But no, it's like, what have you done for me lately? Child. Like, that is what Cancer energy will have you asking, and looking at the things that you do for people, how you provide comfort and security, or you know, nurture them in some sort of way, but are you getting that back? Like, Cancers are always like so concerned about that. So with us having this collectively affecting us, a lot of people may be cutting people off, cutting friendships off, cutting off any type of emotional connection, even friendships that are just not returning back the same energy and the same love and compassion and everything. So the Eight of Cups can definitely be that. And I got that card and it's like, I wasn't too happy about it, but I understand, you know, the meaning of it. For me personally, like, I don't want to get too personal, but, you know, I do like to get a little personal to tell you guys how astrology affects real life and real people. I'm a real person just like you guys. And on some real life, keeping it 100 stuff, yeah, I was pouring a lot of my emotions and energy into trying to, you know, bring myself and another person together. And I was sending out so much energy, investing so much energy into it, and it wasn't being reciprocated, like hardly at all. Yet for some reason, because of this crazy karmic bond that we have, the synastry is off the chain. If you guys know astrology like I do, and you know compatibility, let me tell you, off the charts freaking synastry. Very strong karmic bond, but yet they weren't responding or doing anything. Like, they blocked themselves from feeling. And I'm open to feeling, and I'm open to giving, but they just were not, for whatever their reasons were. And I just have to respect their personal reasons for not, and just kind of cut the ties and move on, and stop trying to send out energy, or even send out messages like, hey, you know, because that was all one-sided. And so that's not something that I can do anymore. It has to be reciprocated. As a Pisces moons are so, Pisces people, you already know how we can be. You know, we're like that with a lot of people a lot of times, because we get caught up in like the idea and the idealism behind something instead of what is reality. And we love unconditionally, and we can just really try to give people second, third, fourth, fifth chances. So, you know, that's just a lesson learned. So I feel like the Eight of Cups is like moving on to situations like that. If you feel like you're giving a lot emotionally and you're exhausted now, you know, like you're exhausting a lot of your efforts and your feelings and everything, and the other party is not, you know, those relationships if you want to call them that, those interactions with people, they have to be cut off. So a lot of time, so I feel like this Cancer moon does have something to do with that, for everybody, for all of us actually. And it hurts, you know, letting go hurts. It really does. It sucks, but a lot of times when you let go of stuff like that, you welcome in, you make space, you make room for new, for maybe something that is more, you know, suiting, is that a word? Like suitable for you, like fitting for you. That can be relationships. This can be in a job too, you know. It depends on where the sign of Cancer is in your chart, actually, to get more nerdy and detailed. But yeah, we do have this new moon in Cancer. And it's more, it's on the second that we have the actual point of the new moon. Yeah, it's on the 2nd of July. So like it's like noontime Pacific time, like maybe like 3 something p.m. Eastern, and then in the eastern part of the world, Europe and all that, it's like the evening time for you guys that this new moon in Cancer happens. So this new moon, it does make a wide trine to Neptune and a wide opposition to Saturn, very wide. So those planets may affect the eclipse in a subtle way, but you know, you will know once you actually go through experiences. Now remember, the effects of eclipses can be seen, heard, felt, experienced up to a month before they happen, and up to 6 months after the date of the actual eclipse. Now, this is in the sign of Cancer, so it rules home and family. So if there's anything that needs to be addressed or corrected in matters of home and family, you know, this is an eclipse that'll have you do that. This is a good eclipse for like saging your house, cleaning your house spiritually, physically, and everything. Making sure that your house, your home space is comfortable and secure in whatever way that it's lacking. You know, work on that, fix that. Mending family relationships can be a part of this Cancer new moon. Discovering more about who you are, your ancestry, your roots, returning to a homeland or home city, or learning about your own cultures, you know, stuff like that can be with this Cancer eclipse as well. Okay, so that's on the 2nd. And remember, go watch the eclipse video that I have up if you want more information about your sign and how it affects you. And if you want something more personal to you, like personal to your natal chart, of course, hit me with hit my website and order an eclipse reading, and I'll personalize it for you. Now, what else is going on? So we do have Mercury conjunct Mars, but also they are making a square aspect to Uranus. So this could be like sudden, people just suddenly blurting out stuff like out of nowhere. That's very just, I don't know. People can kind of be a little bit explosive with their words and actions when we have a Mercury conjunct Mars, square Uranus, being challenged by the planet Uranus, which, you know, Uranus is the ruler of lightning and lightning bolts, you know, being shot through your world pretty much. So, because of that, you know, be very careful driving. Mars is action and movement and aggression and also injuries and stuff. And then Mercury is what you do with your hands. It could be driving. So be careful driving with this aspect that's forming up here. But this can have people just randomly blurting things out and wanting attention and like doing that for the sake of attention. Oh, and I forgot to mention with the Cancer eclipse, you guys, but I talk about this more in the eclipse video, is that this is a repeat of the year 2000, the summer of 2000. So if you're old enough to remember any significant life changes that happened for you in the year 2000, wherever Cancer is in your natal chart, then, you know, of course, drop it in the comments. Let us know so we can kind of compare notes and see how astrology really works. Because this could be bringing up something that it did for you back then, which was 19 years ago. Eclipse cycles repeat themselves every 19 years, so that makes sense. Okay, so we do have on the 3rd, Venus moving into the sign of Cancer. So Venus in Cancer on the 3rd of July. Venus will be in the sign of Cancer. How long will she be in Cancer? When does she go into Leo? Let's see, where's Miss Venus? Oh, that's June. Okay. Yeah, she will be in the sign of Cancer until July 27th. So we have her in Cancer for the majority of July. And what does this mean for us As a collective, well, Venus in Cancer, Venus is love, beauty, enjoyment. Whatever you enjoy with your five senses is Venus. So when she's in the sign of Cancer, she's very tender-hearted. She's very nurturing and caring. She loves food, family, mother figures, feminine things, man. That's what Venus in Cancer is all about. Babies, nurturing people, so that's the vibe with Venus in Cancer. So yeah, Venus will be in Cancer for just a few weeks. And this does sweeten up the energy that's in the air. Good thing Venus enters Cancer and we have this eclipse in Cancer, which can be super emotional. Oh my gosh, so emo. Like hitting us like a wave of of emotions just crashing, and like we have to find and gain our balance, regain our balance after it. And I think Venus moving here, Venus is a benefic. She's a positive planet. Brings positive energy to wherever Cancer is in your chart that the eclipse rocked. Venus is like, la la la, I'm here to make it all better, patch it up, soothe you a little bit. So that's what Venus in Cancer can do. Venus will hit the eclipse point on July 12th in the sign of Cancer. So around the 12th, we may see like some developments with whatever the eclipse did. But I'll talk about that when that day comes a little bit better. But yeah, Venus in Cancer, a very beautiful Venus placement. I love Venus in Cancer. If there's any planet that I love in the sign of Cancer, it's going to be Venus. Like, I dated a Leo with Venus in Cancer, and he was just absolutely awesome. He was the best. He was affectionate and just, he loved women, yeah, but he was like, pretty respectful and just, he was so like, I just love the Venus and Cancer energy. I'm gonna stop right there. It's pretty dope. So we'll all be feeling it as a collective. Maybe some people may be getting baby fever, just wanting to spend time with family, wanting to just cook more, eat more, just spend time with people who are like comfortable to them and secure, and just be cozy, So that's Venus in Cancer. Moves there on the 3rd. Now, also on the 3rd, this is when the moon shifts into the sign of Leo. And moon and Leo days are very dramatic. Leo energy is super mad, crazy, dramatic. So it looks like in the evening time, Pacific time, into the next day, which is July 4th, actually. We will have Moon, Mars, and Mercury all in dramatic Leo. Lord have mercy. Oh my gosh. So if anybody goes out on July 3rd, just know that at nighttime there could be some drama, okay, with this lineup right here. But as we get into the day on July 4th, the moon starts to progress and move past Mercury and Mars. And it'll just be a moon in Leo day, So the moon's in Leo July 4th, which is actually pretty good for, I'm in the US and we have Independence Day or the 4th of July. And people, they go out and they celebrate, they light fireworks or they watch fireworks or whatever, they barbecue. It can be some good times. And I feel like moon in Leo, the moon rules like our attitudes and our moods and feelings. When it's in Leo, it's very celebratory. It just wants to have fun. It's very romantic. It's very playful, very childlike. So moon in Leo is very good for July 4th. But yeah, just remember early in the morning, there could be maybe a little bit of drama, especially if you go out the night before on the 3rd. There could be some drama in the middle of the night. Hopefully not for anybody, but just a fair warning. Okay, so we do have the moon moving into Virgo on, I think it's on the 5th. The moon shifts into Virgo. And this is like really late that this happens. Yeah. It's like super late, or into the next day in the eastern parts of the US and the world. But moon and Virgo days, those are the days where it's best to like clean and organize. No joke. I know people always say that Virgos are like clean freaks and neat freaks and stuff. And moon and Virgo days, like collectively, it doesn't matter what sign you are. You're going to feel like you want to clean, you want to organize. So maybe people will be cleaning up messes after the 4th of July and maybe not too upset about it because they're in that mood to clean, you know. Moon and Virgo days, you can be more critical of yourself and your appearance and critical of others, but excellent day for cleaning. It doesn't matter what sign you are. It always ends up like that on Moon and Virgo days. So on the 7th, finally, the 7th is when we have, let's see. Yeah, on the 7th. This is when we have Mercury going retrograde. It's retrograde, it's conjunct Mars. So when Mercury is retrograde, whatever you say can be flung back at you like a boomerang. So you have to be careful of what you say. When it's conjunct aggressive and impulsive Mars in Leo, very fiery and impulsive, it'll be very hard to hold back your words. Trust me, I know. But you have to, in some instances. And then they're still squaring Uranus. This could be, once again, sudden outbursts or blurting out things, sudden drama appearing, and it's like, it's unexpected. But Mercury will go retrograde on the 7th. But remember, we're in the shadow period. Like, we're in the shadow period 2 weeks before. So there's still some mishaps, some miscommunication, some technology failures, you name it, that goes on during the shadow period. But this is the day Mercury actually goes retrograde. So this is when it begins to very much like pick up the pace with retrograde actions and motion. So yeah, Mercury retrograde, it starts on the 7th. It goes back into Cancer on July 19th. It'll go back here. It will go direct on the 31st. On the 31st, it'll go direct. And then it'll go back into Leo on August 11th. And it'll go back to 4 degrees of Leo where it went retrograde on August 15th. So pretty much anything that's gone on from June 21st until July 7th will repeat itself when Mercury goes retrograde, because it's going to go here. It's at 4 degrees of Leo. It stops there, goes retrograde back to like, what was it? Like 24 degrees of Cancer. So from here all the way to somewhere in here is where Mercury is going to review what was going on. Yeah, the 21st of June to July 7th. What was going on? You can go back on things, review things, change your mind about things. There's a lot of things that can happen. Mercury retrograde, of course, the cautionary warnings that you get are like, take care of your devices and your vehicles. Make sure they're tuned up. Make sure you take care of them. Don't drop them. Don't let anybody mess with them. Miscommunication can happen, and it's whack. It's super whack. But just slow down with typing, with texting, emailing, even speaking in person, which some people actually do still. Just slow down, because a lot of people will be very impulsive with this and wanting to rush in, especially with like romance and stuff like that, which actually could be very fun and exciting, but maybe it could be impulsive decisions that should have been more thought out. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's Mercury going retrograde on the 7th. It's going to be, I would say count up until August 15th as Mercury retrograde, the Mercury retrograde period, up until August 15th, because that's when it goes back to 4 degrees of Leo, and then it moves forward and progresses past that. So past the retrograde, zone, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, just from like from actually now, through August 15th, we are dealing with Mercury mishaps in the sign of Leo and Cancer. So wherever those are in your chart is, where you will be affected the most. And once again, if you want a monthly forecast, a general forecast for your sign, your sun, rising, or moon sign, hit my website on the Horoscopes tab. My website is in the description area. And I'll, let you know generally by that sign how everything affects you. It's not a personal reading, it's general. But eclipse readings are personal, so I do still offer those, as well as all my other services on my website. All right, guys, so that's it for the cosmic weather for this week. Don't forget I am available for readings. And follow me on Instagram. I'm always on Instagram posting some astrology stuff and other cool stuff I try to do too. And I'm also on Facebook, not really on there that much, but I do post on there. And I'm also on Twitter sometimes too. So all my information, my contact stuff is below as well. So take care, everybody, and have a great first week of July. And I will see you guys next week. Peace.